Good evening, everyone. We're going to get started.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
Cave Crew Radio. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. CaveCrewRadio.com.
This is radio. Cave Crew Radio. Don't look now.
Guess who is back for more?
In 24.
CaveCrewRadio.com.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Having microphone stand difficulties here, but I think it'll work out. Just got to swing my chair. We'll figure it out. I'm sure I can get a new one off Amazon in a day or two. I'm DK. Big B is with me.
Hi there.
This is the pre-show. I want to get everyone riled up, like start sharing the stream because I am freaking exhausted after this week.
Well, that means we have a good show ahead.
It usually means our sense of humor goes a little wacky, and I know you've got a lot on the go after last week's epicenter.
I have what?
A lot on the go.
Oh, yes, sir. Man, you have no idea. Just today alone was ridiculous. I just got off the phone with one potential mover that is actually my next door neighbor. He works for a moving company, so he's going to get me an estimate. I found out today that my current car insurance company is apparently going out of business eventually.
Oh.
And because of, I was inquiring about something else, but I also said, I have to change my address in a couple of months, going to Arizona. They're like, oh, yeah, we're not offering new policies or we're not doing any changes to anybody anymore. So you're going to have to find new insurance.
Lovely.
That's fun.
I thought you were not taking anything.
What do you mean?
Like you're talking about a mover. Last week you're like new furniture, new TVs, new computers, fresh start.
Well, yeah, it's all new furniture that we built in the house. TVs we bought while we're out there, but we still have all of our personal items here. We're not taking any furniture with us. Not new computers, certainly. Huh?
Memorabilia. Here, I'm going to turn my mic up.
There you go. That's better. That's better. It's personal items. Yeah, memorabilia on my side, but personal items, pictures, clothes, knickknacks, things like that. It actually builds up. We're going to have quite a number of boxes, and of course, I have to take my smoker with me.
Yes.
And a couple other things. Our office chairs, like I have an office chair that I use that I spent like $600 on. I'm not leaving that behind.
Now, do you have to dispose of all the furniture that you're not taking?
Yeah, we have to figure that out. We got to do something with it. Can't leave it here.
Just get a giant bin.
Well, I was thinking about calling 1-800-JUNK or Got Junk.
Yeah.
And they'll come and haul the crap away. I'm going to try to sell as much crap as I can and try to make at least a couple of bucks. And then whatever's left by the time we're ready to go, like the couple of days before, just junk.
All right. Busy. It's going to be a busy time.
Oh, my God. And it's only starting. Now, I have a question. You told me where you're going. Is it in Michigan or Ontario? Because apparently there's two.
Ontario.
Okay.
But it is much faster to go the Michigan way.
Aha. Okay.
So I'm meeting up in Sarnia. We'll carpool up to Sault Ste. Marie. I'll tell you more about it when we get back, but like the itinerary, it's a health and safety, which, ladies and gentlemen, is a long enough event in itself. There's a 7-hour drive to get there on Tuesday. the meet and greet Tuesday night. Yippee. They've got a full day Wednesday of like all dry health and safety shit.
Mhm.
A magician performing Wednesday night. A magician and a mentalist won't be there. That's game 2. Already told my boss. And then a full day Thursday of like mental health and all this other shit
Uh-huh.
that I'm far too old for. And then a full drive Friday to get home.
Got it. Okay.
Hence, no show, ladies and gentlemen, for another week.
Now
We're
I have
part-time this year, ladies and gentlemen. We're part-time.
now I have to ask you because I'm looking at a map of where Sault Ste. Marie is in Canada, but it doesn't say like where you are.
Oh, the
How
Delta, the Delta on the river. That was the catch they got me with. Oh, I got you a room on the river. Yippee! There's
There
going to
you
be 4 feet of fucking snow. It's where Santa spends his summers.
but from where you live, are you near Algoma University?
No,
Okay, I'm just trying to
no.
figure it out where you
I'm
live
I'm
comparatively to
in
where
Windsor.
I know, but it doesn't say Windsor on here.
Well, you can do that in your spare time. We're doing a show right now.
I'm trying to find. There's a pre-show. We bullshit on the pre-show. I'm just trying to find out where things are as far as
It's up
you're
around,
concerned.
am I right? Lake Superior, I think.
Where Sault Ste. Marie is?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
St. Mary's River.
Yeah,
All right, I'll
Google-
find it. I'll find out where you live in comparison.
yeah, I'll shoot you my address.
Okay.
And after the show, and then I'll shoot you the hotel.
Got it.
It's a nice hotel, but it's fucking Sault Ste. Marie. Like, let's meet halfway. Toronto. Go
Is
see a game.
is there something wrong with Sault Ste. Marie?
It's freaking 7 hours away. That's for a fucking health and safety conference.
But they're paying for it.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Like the gas, the hotel,
Mhm.
the meals. I'm sure someone will put a credit card down in the bar at night. And
Right, right.
I don't like socializing with these people. Like I like them and I have good rapport, but like I go to bed fairly early, especially when I have a full agenda the next day.
Mhm.
I just want to watch hockey. I'll have a beer when everything closes, and I'll sit and have dinner or whatever we got to do. But like 8 o'clock, I'm upstairs.
Right.
I
Well,
don't, I don't want to do the Macarena with my colleagues.
now did they give you an itinerary?
Yes, and I'll scan that. I'll share it with you. I'll have to do it Monday when I get back to work, and yeah, I'll send it to you. It's just ridiculous. It's
right, so-
absolutely ridiculous.
So it's a Monday to Friday event, and
No.
all day, every day is scheduled.
No.
out for you?
So Monday I'm at work in town.
Okay,
Tuesday travel day, like
Uh-huh.
7-8 hours.
got it.
Wednesday full day. Tuesday night, sorry, meet and greet. Wednesday full day. Thursday full day.
Mhm.
They want us to stay overnight so we're safe, and then Friday travel day.
Got it. Okay.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I
See,
mean,
last year, just before we start the show, last year they announced this, and I knew it was coming.
Mm.
So I plugged my trip to Fort Myers in at the exact same time. Couldn't do it this year.
Can't get away with it 2 years in a row.
So I skipped it. Oh my God. I'll report back. Anyway,
Please do.
let's start the show. We got a good show ahead for you folks. All right, so hit there. Yeah, Pulse Talk Radio, and here we go.
The show is about to start.
And we have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1.
Wow, back for more in 24. It's Cave Crew Radio. CaveCrewRadio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I mean, we got to solve yes, we want to get into which I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of the masculine feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clevin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball!
It's a power, one goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm DK. I'm live from my cave in Windsor, Ontario. As shared on the pre-show, I am completely mentally exhausted. So if I use bad grammar or something like that tonight, I apologize. Trying to maintain my tan still from Fort Myers. It's spring here in Canada, but anytime there's sunlight, I go sit out and try and keep my tan. I'm ready for summer. We are live at cavecrewradio.com. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. The Facebook feed is coming via the Cave Crew Radio page by double K page because you can't broadcast in groups anymore again. Meta keeps changing things, but we're here. We're easy to find. We're also live on Pulse Talk Radio and available on podcast and syndicated around the world. We've got a great show ahead. Usual stuff, but we have Talking FLA, got some good stories. We got Mike reads the news. We got weird news if we have time. If not, we will defer it. Anyhow, enough of the mumbo jumbo.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county
Of Urine Stench.
and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies
The self-proclaimed president.
of the United States,
A university graduate.
and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, only for a short period of time left. I am King B, and as always, I am the epicenter of something. This week, I am the epicenter of all things tax preparation.
Oh, yeah, I got to do that too.
That's right. Our tax day was on Monday, this past Monday. So on top of everything that I have going on that I spoke about last week, moving, getting everything together, I talked about it on the pre-show, I got a whole lot going on. I had to do my taxes. And I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because our disaster in chief has screwed up the tax code so much that, of course, we owe money again this year.
Oh,
And I put it off till the very last minute. I did everything I could to get it down as much as I could, and I'm still owing the U.S. government.
I think I'm going to owe this year too.
It's crazy. It's always funny when any politician says all their tax hikes will not affect the middle class. Well, guess what? Since I've never owed any time in my life, except for the years that our current disaster in chief has been in charge of the tax code. Last year, this year, I owe money.
That's down here. The gas has gone up by about 30 cents a liter. So times that by 4.33 for a gallon, because it's the summer blend. I would much prefer to still use the winter blend at my own risk.
Is that the excuse they're giving you? It's the summer blend. It's special.
And I don't know if you guys, we have a carbon tax, which is like, we've talked about this environment shit before.
And I know. I've watched enough of the debates that go on in your government with Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau. I know all about the carbon tax that goes on in Canada. But before we talk about the carbon tax,
yes,
we do have something here.
Mrs. B presents the drink of the week.
This week, and I think this will be a theme going forward. We're trying to use up all of our alcohol in the house.
You could send some to me.
Well, we're trying to use it up before we decide to send it out to anybody.
Okay. I want to be number one on your list.
I'll
pay the duty. I don't care.
So this week it is simple Bailey's Pina Colada mix.
Oh, okay.
With of course there always has to be
umbrella.
something in the drink, and I will give this over to Mrs. B. And so I'm assuming until we leave, it's just going to be a mix mash of whatever alcohols we have lying around, so we can try to finish it all off.
Will you leave the tenants like a big stash, the new tenants?
Absolutely not.
No, I didn't think so. Now, a couple of questions as we move forward. So I would assume now you should be getting really pissed on the show because you should be having like large amounts, not that stupid egg thing.
Well, you know how much alcohol I have here? We have to go through this stuff that's easily gotten rid of. So all the blends that are quick just to pour and drink.
Yeah.
Then we'll start in on the other alcohols, like my barbecue whiskey that's here. Yeah. I got the peanut butter whiskey that's upstairs. I got a whole bunch of other whiskeys. I got moonshine. I have a lot of stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to do marijuana on the show. We are just going to watch Big B consume 88 bottles of booze in the next 2 months.
Copious amounts of alcohol will be consumed over the next 2 months.
I can't wait. So, are you going to miss the greatest liquor store in the world, as you called it, which I never got to see?
I will say no, and that is because there is a greatest liquor store that ever exists in Arizona, near where I live.
There you go.
It is newly opened. I don't know how long. Not too long ago. It opened, and I visited there when we were out there for the week because I got some presents. I got presents for the Jolitz family and for our realtor, and I also got me some beer while I was there. So I will not miss it because they have one there.
Okay, good. I'm worried about what you're going to do to Mike Jolitz.
I don't think I can do anything to Mike Jolitz that he hasn't already done to himself. Apparently, and I didn't know this. I mean, I'm sure he's brought it up, but I don't remember the conversation. Apparently, he was a bartender at one point.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, this is a.
See, you learn something new. So he was a bartender at one point. So he's seen it all, done it all, and I'm sure he's drank it all. You know, between the military and being a bartender, I don't think I can do anything to him that he hasn't already experienced or done to himself.
Okay, this will be fun, ladies and gentlemen. A new chapter. Oh, by the way, working on something new in my very limited spare time.
Mm-hmm.
Choo Choo Chimp.
Choo Choo Chimp.
Stay tuned.
Okay. I'm very curious about this.
You'll see when it arrives. Just, I see all these different things, and they call them filters, and there's AI, and I as much as I'm scared to death of it, I'm old enough to know that, I'm on the downhill now. Hopefully be retired at some point. But if I was a young kid like my son or your son, I'd be definitely afraid of all this technology. But for me, it's a ball. I'm having a good time with it.
Because, like you said, you're on the downside. I'm on the downside as well. We won't be around to see the other end of the technology. When it rises up, it becomes aware and takes over.
Right. When there's an AI at the drive-through.
Right.
And some robotic arm hands out your order. And exactly who do you complain to when they forgot the ketchup or something? Or they put pickles when you said no pickles? Right. Who do you complain to?
You don't. You complain to AI boss. And
you're right. The manager's probably going to be like hell. And remember that movie? God, what was it? 2001 or
2001 Space Odyssey?
Yeah. And hell went fucking nuts. They always had this calm voice. I'm sorry you feel that way, DK.
Or it may be what was remember in the 90s there was the head in the TV, Max Headroom.
Oh, he was good too. Yeah, those people were visionaries beyond their time. I was watching this guy today. I can't remember his name, but I was trying to Google. This guy is about 30 years old, English guy, and he has a filter that makes him look like he's 80. It changes his facial hair, changes his hair. He's bald. The guy's got hair. This guy looks like I'll find it and send it to you. I know you don't like TikTok, but I'm watching this guy, and I'm watching this one video, and he's eating all this hot stuff, right? And I'm like, well, I'm going to follow this guy. I like stuff like that. It lightens my day up. As I'm scrolling through, he's going, and I'm like, I would, you can tell filters on 90% of the stuff. They're getting so good at this shit, man. I'm telling you.
It's, I've seen the opposite filters where it makes you look like you're 16 years old.
Yes. Yeah, they have those too.
It's amazing how fast technology is now evolving, right? Because remember when we were kids, it was Mike Jolitz likes my shirt. I'm representing for the Arizona Coyotes.
God bless her. So you should get RIP printed on there.
I should. Well, I have a Coyotes hat here too.
Oh, good. Holy geez. You right into it before you even moved there, and now they're gone.
I'm repping Arizona. They will be back in 5 years. But anyway,
bet you that Big B is going to be cursing the Salt Lake City Mormons more than anybody. Anyway, back. So
remember when we were kids, technological advancements were, you had your Atari 2600, right?
Yeah.
Then a few years later, you got the Nintendo, right? So it took years. You were listening to cassettes on a boombox. Years later, suddenly you got compact discs.
Yeah.
It took years for technology to come up with new things. Now we've wrapped the spiral so tight that new technologies come out. It seems like every 15 seconds.
Yeah. Do you ever think, before we move on to our regular stuff, but you and I have been at this a long time, and both of us were at this well, not even longer, but longer before we hooked up.
Mhm.
It started out on a very simple radio that was like, I don't know, 24 bits. And we had headphones, and we had to use very strange things to make our intros and our commercials and stuff like that. And then we moved along. We went to like we went to Z Talk Radio, and we thought it was a bomb. We were on this like internet radio all of a sudden, and all these other really good shows with us, but my technology at my end was still very minimum. And then we went through like all Radio X, and then all of a sudden we're doing video, and here we are. Got good mics, hopefully good sound, good production in the background. Mike sending us segments, but think how far. I remember, if I can find the very first Double Talk Radio, and I got this like headset. I think it's like a Logitech headset, and it's almost like you're listening to an old transistor radio.
Oh, you did the same thing I did when I put the metal show together back in 2011 or whenever it was. You built stuff from Radio Shack. This is where you got stuff. You got all the stuff from Radio Shack. You had cheap shit microphones because you couldn't afford anything. You had the bare necessities to actually get online. I had to figure out. I did research on how to actually transmit online. I had no idea how to do that.
No web page.
No web page. Nothing. No, we had nothing. And
social media at that point, at least for me, around 2009, like Facebook and Twitter, and I don't even know if Instagram was there, but like YouTube, they were all in their infancy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was, as a matter of fact, with doing the metal show, you're saying like Facebook and stuff, that was in its infancy. That's where I got a lot of our guests from very known bands from when we were kids, because there wasn't all private and all these things. They were just on Facebook. So I would just send them messages, direct messages, and they would reply to me. Now, forget it. You can't do that.
Now, remember that, what was the one before that? Not MySpace, or there was that really weird social media that was before Facebook.
There was MySpace. It was MySpace.
Is it MySpace? Is that what it's called? Okay, yeah.
There may have been one before. But before then, it was like the AOL chat rooms.
Yeah.
That was
IRQ. The Merc.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then MySpace took that was like a whirlwind. Everybody, this brand new thing. You have your own page. Wow, check it out. It's MySpace. How cool. And that went away, and now we have the cesspool that is social media.
Does anybody else remember? We're old. I don't know the average age of our audience, but everybody else remember this. Boom, ping, ping.
With dial-up modem?
Half an hour to download a picture.
Holy fuck.
Could you imagine trying to do this show, waiting half an hour to download a JPEG, if that's what it even was then? I don't even know.
Oh, well, I remember being on dial-up, and ECW was huge. If you remember, you did wrestling. You did a wrestling show. ECW was probably at its height. Now, I was all into ECW. I went to the shows and all that stuff. I heard that there were pictures online of Beulah McGillicuddy, if you remember her, naked on the internet. And I was like, this is all brand new. This is 1995. Brand new stuff being on the internet and all that. So I looked up. I think I went to web crawler. There wasn't even Google back then. It was
Yeah,
a
it was all
web
like
crawler.
Firefox and
Yeah, the site I used was web crawler, and I did use Yahoo was around at that time. So I searched it, and click on the picture to click on the thumbnail. Remember, it was all thumbnails. It was like this fucking big.
Yeah.
And you click on it to get the full picture. So I clicked on it, and I would literally wait 20 minutes for the picture to load to see Beulah McGillicuddy's tits out because I saw her on ECW a couple hours before. You just sit there and wait.
There's no way you'd watch movies.
No, there was no such thing as watching
like
movies.
Downloading songs on like Napster or whatever the hell it was, LimeWire, took hours for a song,
Hours.
on a video.
And if it was corrupt or something was wrong with the file, you'd see it would take 47 years to continue to download. Like it would tell you, and that's when you just click off. It's ridiculous. But of course, remember, this was dial-up. It was connected to the phone line.
Yeah.
So you could be in the middle of something. Somebody in your house picks up the phone to call the next door neighbor, and you get kicked off the internet.
Yeah, because there was no cell phones.
No cell phones.
Pagers, maybe.
Yeah, we all had beepers. No cell phones, no broadband internet, no fiber internet.
Now, what came before broadband? Because we were so excited. We no longer had to plug our computer through the phone line with that stupid jack.
Right, it was DSL.
DSL, that's it. That still wasn't very good, but it was better.
DSL sucked, but it was better than dial-up.
But think of it now. You're if you have Netflix, you're streaming. If you have Disney, you're streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's not through your cable. If you have Xbox Live, whatever, you're streaming. Like the amount of shit that's going through this broadband or high fiber or whatever we're on now.
Well, just like in my house alone, I don't have a cable package, so I don't have a traditional cable box. I stream everything, including live TV. I do my live TV through Hulu. So I have Apple TV boxes that have all the apps that stream in my office downstairs, my bedroom, my two sons' bedroom, and the living room. That's 5 rooms for streaming television. Then my son streams video games. He's got his Xbox. He does Xbox Live, and all that's online. Then my younger son plays little phone video games like Google Play Store games on his phone. Then we're doing this on the internet, all at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
It's seamless.
Yeah. Like they're watching Netflix upstairs right now, but we're the same way. I still have cable. And here's why. Sports and news.
Mm-hmm.
Local news. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I gotta look away and investigate, because I'm seeing now the Fox News in Detroit has it's free on whatever.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, I use Hulu for my live TV. So I have Hulu Live Plus TV is what they call it. So I have all my local news channels. I have all the live chat. Like I have the MLB network. I have the NFL network. The only thing I'm missing is the NHL network. They don't have a contract with them. But I have Discovery Channel. I got, HGTV. I got Comedy Central. I got all of that on Hulu Live. So it's basically having cable without the box, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's how I get my live TV. And then, of course, I have all the other streaming apps as well.
Yeah. What's the Roku is the thing where you can download a lot of the.
Well, you could do that on Roku. You could do that. Like I have Apple TV. Apple TV is a box. There's Apple TV, the app, and then there's Apple TV, the box. I have both. You could do that on Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick. They have Google. I forget what it's called, but Google has one. Google Chromecast or something like that. They have one as well. So there's a bunch of ways you can do it. It's all the same thing. It's just what provider you prefer.
Yeah.
And I had
and of
Roku.
course, Amazon Prime.
Oh, Amazon Prime's on. That's all on my Apple TV box and all the other streaming devices. I had Roku in its infancy. Nobody heard of Roku. I had Roku.
Yeah, I have Roku too.
Then I switched from Roku to Fire TV, the Amazon Fire Stick, and then I switched from that to Apple TV, which to me is the smoothest running of the streaming boxes.
Yeah, we have the Prime sticks,
Mhm.
and then Netflix and Paramount. And,
Yep, we have all of that.
Yeah. I just got to figure out. Give me my local stations, whether it's by rabbit ears or an antenna outside or however, as long as I get my hockey, my football, that sort of stuff, I'm good. NBC, ABC, all the channels you named, then I'm okay.
Yeah,
Food
you should
Network.
look. You should look into these like Hulu TV, Direct TV has an app, and there's a few Fubo TV. There's a few others. Look into what's available in your area because obviously it's done by region.
Yeah.
So I have, I get SNY, which is the Mets station. I don't get the Yankees, but I subscribe to the app, and I don't get MSG, but I subscribe to the MSG app. But in Hulu, I get SNY. I get my local Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, all my local channels, the Weather Channel, all this other stuff. So look into what's available in your area.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. I'll report back, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll tell you, it's cheaper. In the long run, it's cheaper. I did it, and I cut the cord years ago, and I'm never looking back.
Yeah. No, I heard a lot of people do that. Then there's this other thing that people tell me about, but I'm so scared, where you can go to a guy, and I don't know if he's programming to a satellite or what the hell he's doing, but you get like 10,000 channels, which I don't need. And then when they cut the code, you bring it to the guy, he recodes it, and
right. So what that's called is jailbreaking. Basically, they jailbreak your device. That means they open your device up to everything that's out there, and they use an application called Kodi, Kodi, and that will, once that all goes through and works out, you can have all these channels from all over the world. It's not worth it. Most of those channels, 99.9% of those channels are crap.
Yeah, that's I heard that.
It's a novelty in the first 10 minutes to watch Budapest TV. But then realistically, are you ever going back to it?
No. I find on cable with what we have now, there's like 400 channels. I really, what it comes down to is you have your niches, right? Because the wife likes Hallmark, the wife likes women's TV, the wife likes this. She likes to watch some shows on the major networks like The Voice and American Idol and Masked Singer. I like my sports. I like my local news. I like my food channel. I like the History Channel. I like National Geographic, Discovery. So there are channels, but there's other channels. I don't go on Much Music or YTV or Treehouse or.
But that's with every live TV application, right? They'll always have 200 plus channels. You're only really going to watch between 10 and 20.
Yeah. You have your favorites. Like the wife and I will watch she'll watch the Leafs, especially in the playoffs. She'll watch hockey with me, and I'll tolerate some of her stuff. Like as soon as she knows, she's so disappointed when I don't have a show, because I'll turn on like Shark Tank and 2020 and all these Food Network, if nothing on, is always my default. And Woman TV was on. And the show was about a country fair. And as I'm gathering my stuff to come down here, hey, everybody, just a reminder, tomorrow is the olive oil contest. How do you find that interesting?
Who will win the olive oil contest, and will there be shenanigans
Right.
to determine the winner?
And then the father-in-law in this show was Bob's Your Uncle in the last one. They hire 6 actors. They film in remote parts of Canada and pretend it's Virginia or wherever the hell they are.
Right.
They move furniture around. And the brother and sister are all of a sudden, long lost lovers.
Well, that's what we talk about, especially on the holiday times with the Hallmark,
Oh, I
30
hate
Days of
those.
Christmas thing. It's the same plot, the same actors in every movie.
Yes.
They just change the sets and change the dialogue a little
And
bit.
the recyclable snow.
And the recyclable snow. That's right. Because it's all done on movie sets.
You're hitting another pain spot. I know we got to move on. We're probably not going to get through everything, but that's okay. That's what this show is about. We learned that a long time ago.
Right.
My pain point. Hallmark Christmas in July. You got to be fucking kidding me. I'm in my bathing suit. You wonder why I spend so much time in the gazebo. You're watching fucking Christmas movie. It's like a 40-day marathon. And I'm sure I'm repeating myself, but I'm getting old. I'm like, we've already seen this one. No, this is a new one. No, because what happens is I catch 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there. You're doing something. I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
I haven't got pissed off yet. And these things are ingrained in my head. Like if Hallmark comes up on Jeopardy, I'm running the column and I don't even watch the shows.
But you know what? You can't say no because it's your wife's favorite.
Right. But I make fun of her. She makes fun of me. She's no dummy. She works in a law office. She's intelligent. We have intelligent conversations. What is the lure of this?
I don't know.
Is it just you turn on? Is this the modern day version of when my mom used to watch like Days of Our Lives in General Hospital? Is that what Hallmark is?
It might very well be.
I never thought of it that way.
I often wonder, the people that watch like The Single Life or 90 Day Fiance, whatever the fuck these stupid shows are.
Yeah.
They are mindless.
700-pound Life. I've never watched it, but I see it on
whatever it is, the 1,000-pound sisters.
Yeah.
Which
All
was another
started,
one.
by the way, by Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo, that's right.
Yeah.
These are all mindless, brainless, low brain cell TV shows.
Yeah.
But there are, like, I know very smart people that watch those shows, and I don't get it.
The other one, Big B, and I'm sure we've talked about this before too. I'm okay watching a paranormal or ghost story or something like that. I remember the old Leonard Nimoy things that played in the theater about Loch Ness and Bigfoot and all that. It was all
In Search Of.
In Search Of. That's why. And Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Shows. Yeah. But there's these like ghost shows that are on, I don't know if it's Discovery or Life or where it is. And the whole show is filmed with this green light and you can't see anything. You hear that? You hear that?
No, I didn't.
Something just passed over my shoulder. Well, I can't see anything on the TV.
Right. It's all nonsensical bullshit.
Yeah, and I guess like us watching the 401 show and Deadliest Catch and the one where they're catching the tunas.
Yeah.
It's probably bad too. My wife probably sits there and goes, "What are you getting out of this?" But I really like it, but it's a little.
But at least those are real life things. Like people are actually catching the crab.
Yeah.
And people do die on the Bering Sea. Boats.
Yes.
When you're in the green light and did you hear that? No, you just blew into your own microphone. No, I didn't hear
You're on the
anything.
way. Someone get up here. Someone get up here.
Right.
Well, he ain't going to be able to get up there because he can't see the fucking stairs.
It's utterly ridiculous. Now, there's a show on one of these Discovery or one of these channels, History, not even a History Channel, but one of them, and it's not called Mountain Men, but it's Mountain something or other.
I think I know the one
And it's like 6 hillbillies that search for Bigfoot and Bigfoot's friends, and they have names for them, and they build these elaborate traps in the woods.
Yeah.
And oh my God, there he is. There's nothing there.
Don't you remember the one guy we had on that told us that he played a clip and it was Bigfoot, and this is how they communicated with the shells or the tree or something. Yeah, I can do that right now. I'm communicating with you, baby. And
Yeah,
the guy that left us on air, Bigfoot expert, author. My people from church are watching. I'm not the one that said I was a Bigfoot author.
Right. My people from church are watching. Well, we're asking you legit. We at no point, you'd have to go back and find the show. At no point did we make fun of the guy.
Nope.
Did we belittle him? We were asking legitimate questions. And I remember specifically, I asked, in the 70s, there were a number of sightings and pictures. Now with the advancement of technology, everybody has a computer in their pocket. And cameras are everywhere. How come we don't get new pictures?
Same as ghosts. Why don't they appear in the daylight?
Why don't they appear in the daytime is an excellent question.
In like those fucking orbs. It's dust on your lens, for fuck's sakes. I try to be open-minded, but was it this show or the one before where we had the person on playing the EVPs? It just said, my name is Anna. I've come from the past. No, it just said,
right.
And how you get wait, I'm going to slow it down for you. Oh, now I hear it.
Right.
I hear fucking choking to death. Call 911.
I hear wind passing over the microphone in slow motion. Wonderful.
But the funny thing about it, I don't know if it's still the same, but the most famous podcasts and radio shows were the paranormal ones.
Everybody flocks to those things. I think because they want to believe that they're, and this is my argument about a lot of religions. Religion to me, and me only, my opinion, is based upon alleviating the unknown of death, right? If you're Christian, you're going to go to heaven. If you're Muslim, you go and have 72 versions. Other people believe in the other lives, like you've been reincarnated. Everything is to ease death and make death more palatable.
Yeah,
I think that's why people want to believe in ghosts, because they think there's an afterlife. They flock to these shows because they want to feel better about themselves. That when I die, I will be able to go on in some fashion.
Yeah, maybe your energy in the universe. This is all personal. This is not the time or the place to debate any of that. But I always tell these people, and I've been on a lot of shows, and Z Talk Radio was really big into the paranormal. I haven't seen anything.
I've never seen any on any. I've watched some of this. I don't watch it often because I don't care. But I've seen enough where they act the part, but don't show anything. They pretend. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? Did you see that? No, there's nothing there.
And there's specific places they go to, like a haunted jail or
a prison. I was just going to say,
psychiatric
yeah.
hospital.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, like when there's movies about this stuff, it's kind of cool.
But those are movies.
Yeah.
There's a great movie called Session 9 that's a horror movie that takes place in an old abandoned insane asylum.
Yeah.
Where they have to clean it and do all this, and one of the guys goes nuts because of the insane asylum. It's a great horror movie, but that's all it is.
Yeah. But there's lots of great horror movies and science fictions, and like the new Planet of the Apes. My wife's not too excited about this, but I'm like, I really want to see. This is what I want to go to. I was a kid in the drive-in in the back of the car with a pillow, eating cheap popcorn and cheeseburgers and watching Charlton Heston and Nova. And I've always been a fan of Planet of the Apes.
Nova was fucking hot.
Oh,
I don't care what year or what era, she is hot in every single one of them.
Yes. And so they're doing that one again where the apes are in power. Because they've been going through the ones where the apes are fighting and, the humans they're back to the one where there's a human girl that speaks.
Okay.
And I love it. Planet of the Apes has always been a weak spot with me.
Well, I mean, just remember the twist at the end that nobody saw coming, that they were actually on Earth. They were in New York. Because they wind up seeing the Statue of Liberty, right? I mean, that was a plot twist and a half when you first saw Planet of the Apes. You're like, holy shit!
Yeah,
what could be? Or it's crazy what Hollywood can do.
Yes,
that the TV shows are trying to do to make you believe it's real.
Yeah. No, I agree. Great conversation. All right, let's go into some real stories that we have got. Or we should probably do Mike. We should probably get out of thing and do Mike.
Yeah, let's do Mike. Give me a chance to pull up the stuff.
The story. So we're going to go to Mike Jolitz, ladies and gentlemen, great friend of the show, going to be a neighbor of Big B. So maybe he'll start doing this live, and me and Big B can go.
I can't wait.
Yeah, no more. We got it down. We're ready. You don't need a soundboard.
That's right.
Anyway, here's we're gonna break for Mike, and we'll be back with some talking FLA. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Jolitz reads the news.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, everyone. Hello to UDK. Hello, Sir Big B. And hello, listeners around the world. Yeah. All right, guys. I got a quick little show today. So it is now time for Mike Reads the News. Congrats to LeBron James. Scored his 40,000th point. First NBA player to do it. He also has his 10,000th flop, too. He truly is the GOAT. O.J. Simpson is dead, and they cremated his ass already. No coming back from that. No public memorial has been planned. Not that I'd go, but still. Blake Griffin announced he's retiring from the NBA. That's the guy that was married to Kim Kardashian for like 2 minutes. I forgot he was even playing still. Congrats to Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He scored his 69th goal of the season. Last guy to do it was Mario Lemieux. Austin didn't get to 70, though. Canadian women's hockey team beat Team USA to win the 2024 Women's World Championship IIHFQRY 3426. The score was 6-5. And finally, in the news, wedding band in Pennsylvania is suing so-called country artist Jelly Roll over his name. They've apparently been playing around for years under the name Jelly Roll. I don't care. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news, and it is now time for some tidbits. They're not headlines, they're just little tiny pieces of shit. Oh, yeah. Tiger Woods finished dead last at the Masters last weekend. Oh, no. But Tiger Woods made his 24th straight cut at the Masters this past weekend. Oh, yeah. Almost 2.5 million retards watched the WNBA draft. The Arizona Coyotes have left the desert. Oh, no. And finally, the Allman Brothers guitarist Dickie Betts died. He was 80. Oh, no. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. That does it for the tidbits. I am out of here until next week. I will have a Twitter shits for you, promise. And choose chow on the feeder saying, later, guys. Bye-bye.
He's doing a Twitter shit, but we're not doing a show. But anyway, I can save it.
That's right.
My favorite segment, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know that.
And I had no idea that Dickie Betts died.
Yeah, that was yesterday. OJ.
OJ, no, who cares?
Or somebody else that was
OJ,
really
good riddance. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about.
If there is a hell, he's there.
I've been so busy with shit that I didn't hear about Dickie Betts. I saw the Allman Brothers. It was probably the most boring concert I've ever been to.
I don't know any of their songs. I probably know if I heard them, but
you know if you've heard them.
Isbia is in chat. I don't know if she heard us talking about Hallmark and the Christmas in fucking July. I'm surprised she doesn't put up a tree. I was like, you should see us at Christmas because I do like the tree. I like the lights on. It's cold. It's dark. It kind of adds a little light, and I like Christmas. So I'm not against Christmas. I just pray that whatever like you're talking about when we die, I don't end up in that world.
That would be and that's what I believe that quote unquote hell is. It's everybody's individual version of it. Your hell, if you were to go there at the end of life, would be sitting there watching Hallmark movies nonstop for eternity.
Even worse than that, I'm in the Hallmark world.
You're an extra in every single movie.
Yes, I steal a pickup truck and I cruise out of town and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm away from the country fair. And then all of a sudden, it's like a science fiction. I'm in another one, but it's the same people, but it's not Mr. Brown. He's now called Gary.
And you steal a different colored truck.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I go into the cafe and now it's a library.
That is your personal hell.
It's breakfast.
That is your personal hell if you were to go there in the afterlife.
Again, like we're talking about Planet of the Apes, if I could have a place where I was not necessarily reincarnated, but like in this ever-going world, I would pick a Western. You know me, I love Westerns.
Oh, you love yourself some Doc Holliday.
And it all started again when I was a kid, and my dad put on Gunsmoke, and we went and saw John Wayne movies, and I've been a cowboy fan ever since. Like
ain't
I
nothing
went
wrong with that.
horseback riding once, and I went about 2 miles an hour. And it was the best time of my life. My ass hurt for a week, the rest of the vacation. But
if there is an afterlife, when you enter the pearly gates, Rawhide will be playing in the background.
Yeah. Like if that's what heaven or whatever you want to call, again, this is not the place for our beliefs. But yeah, I'd be happy where you go up to the bar and they put this dirty fucking shot glass down and someone shoots someone else over a hand of poker. I don't want to get shot, but like I want to ride my horse. I want to, rile up the cattle, and that'd be perfect for me.
You want to do the City Slickers vacation and go on a cattle run.
Those guys were pretty weird.
But you still get to go on a cattle run. Cattle drive.
I'd like to work at Yellowstone or I'd be pretty fucking scared if I was in like the Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, and those bad guys.
Well, I'll tell you, you come visit when I get to Arizona. Come visit me and Mike, and we will go to the OK Corral and
Tombstone.
Tombstone. That's
And you know the other thing about those days, Big B, is whores were plentiful.
Whores were now. I know we have stories to get to, but I always think about this.
What we can get to, we're having fun,
right? I watch those shows, right, and like I watch, some Western stuff and the McCoys and the warfare,
Hatfields,
Hatfields and McCoys, and there's you're right. There's whores everywhere. But then I start to think, for whatever reason, my mind goes to, there wasn't good bathing habits back then.
No, but
the smell had to be awful.
You both stink. But the other thing I really liked, in each, I don't know, what do they call them, pubs or bars or whatever they were. Saloons. That's what they were called. With those, I want those swinging doors somewhere in my house. But the guy's playing the piano and the gal's sitting on top of the piano singing, and you're at the bar and you're going to get in a fist fight. Hopefully it's not a gunfight. And, hopefully the sheriff goes by. But when you get the whore, in every saloon, there is an upstairs.
Yes.
You don't need an Uber. You don't need to go and try and find a room and say it's Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
There is an upstairs in every single one.
And probably not just the bodies, but the bed sheets and the wood and everything else stinks. But I'm sure when you live in that environment, it's like, if you cook garlic a lot, someone might walk in and they'll smell it, right? Whereas, if you're in it constantly, you must come immune to it. Oh my God, everyone's showing up tonight.
Short size, swinging doors, and crotch rot. Hold while I write things down.
You might have stole it, because I don't have a lot tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Big B's into it, but I think we're just going to call this a freewheeling open mic show, and we'll catch up with this shit when we get back.
I agree. This is fun.
Because sometimes, we're telling you about technology tonight. We're telling you about the afterlife. We're in the Wild West now. Who knows where we're going to go next? How does an Eskimo get an erection? You're living in a house made of snow. You're covered in coats made from yaks. Exactly. Well, maybe that's why they're pretty much extinct now, right? Like I said,
Well, so like I watched the True Detective Night Country, which took place in Alaska. I watch I've watched a couple of seasons on the National Geographic of like whatever it's called, like Alaska, the Last Frontier, or whatever the fuck, people living up there. And the only way I could think is that's how they keep warm, because it's so cold. Yes. And for 3/4 of the year, it's freezing. That's how they keep warm, by fucking.
In mind, Alaska to the Eskimos is Florida.
Right. You go from like picture you going from the Arctic to Alaska. That's like going from Windsor, Ontario, Canada to Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah. And again, like I asked, well, my parents have passed, God rest their soul. Why did you choose here? You could have chose Florida. You could have chose Tennessee. You could have chose Arizona. You could have chose Texas. You could have chose Spain. It's a lot closer from friggin' Ireland. How the hell did the Eskimos end up at the North Pole?
Well,
like you took a wrong turn at Niagara Falls. You want to talk about the dude who was looking for the gold in China and ended up at whatever that rock is where you guys ate turkey with the Indians.
Plymouth Rock.
That's it. And like I get wrong turns, but how does someone not realize it's getting a little chilly here on the St. Lawrence Seaway?
I think about that for all the people that have come into our countries. You know, why would you, and we talked about this previously, why would you choose Buffalo, New York to live? Why would you choose Winnipeg, Canada to live?
Yeah.
Why would people choose the country of Greenland to live? Greenland, one of the most coldest, harshest places on earth to live. Yet
Or
people live there.
we have a province in Ontario called Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan, very
Which
cold.
should be a dead giveaway. I remember my grandmother lived out west, and when my dad took us with a little Coleman trailer, you know, the ones you,
Yep.
and we toured Canada. It was a great experience. But I remember Regina was the only place we got a hotel. My mom wanted a bath. There was literally tumbleweeds blowing across the highway, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not kidding you. Who wants to live there?
It's one thing when it was exploratory, right? Like in this country, you know, nobody explored the West.
Yes.
You know, it was the gold rush. It was, you know, move west, young man, things like that. And I'm assuming it's the same thing in Canada. But nowadays, when people come to our countries legally, not talking about our southern border, legally, and they specifically move to Montana, Buffalo, cold places, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Yeah.
Why?
Now, I will tell you, you were talking about taxes on the pre-show. When I go through mine, if you move to like the Northwest Territories, which is up even further than Alaska, you get like a tax break. Yeah, sure. I'm already in hell now, but I get a tax break.
Well, I think that weren't they giving people, if you move to Alaska, they gave you like $1,000 or $1,500 just to move there. So they
so I could be a lumberjack. No, thank you.
Right. But people chose to live there.
You know, some people like cold because, you know, we're talking about Sault Ste. Marie, where I'm going next week, which isn't really that far, but it's fucking cold. It'll snow in May.
Right.
Well, I like to snowmobile and I like to put on those fucking shoes and try to catch a moose. And I'm like, good for you, you fucking stupid idiot. And I know you don't like the heat, but you're going to get used to it real soon.
Oh, I love the heat. What are you kidding me?
I didn't think you liked it really hot.
No, I love the heat.
Oh,
I hate the humidity that's here.
Yes, and you won't have that there. But like when I'm in Fort Myers and Florida gets really humid in the summer, it's more a winter place. But when I'm in Fort Myers, you say like the vitamin D is sitting on the dock. Maybe a manatee swims by, or you know, you're just in the sun.
Yep.
I don't understand, and yet hockey is my favorite sport. It's very good, but I don't understand how people love winter. I think when I was a kid, I had a lot of fun building snowmen and forts, snowball fights, and you know, ice skating outside and all that. That was my mom used to send me with like a thermos of soup to the outdoor rink, and I'd be there from like 8 a.m. till it got dark, and I had to go home and take a bath. Loved it. Not anymore. I'm excited now. The plants are starting to arrive at the florist or whatever it is at the corner. There's going to be vegetables. You're going to be picking fresh herbs while you're smoking and barbecuing. There's nothing on television but repeats and Hallmark and Christmas movies. And you're sitting in the gazebo with the fire pit, and that's and we've talked about this before, but in case people haven't been here. Getting dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon does not motivate me, despite the outside temperature.
Not even a little bit. Like today, because we went through the time change, it's 7 o'clock. It's still light out. It's very nice. And when you get to the height of it, like you said, 9 o'clock, it'll still be light out.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Lovely.
But no, in the winter, it's 4:30 p.m. and it's pitch black.
Yes, on the darkest nights. And what happens when you get home? Well, you're working from home, but when you're done work
Mm-hmm.
and it's daylight and it's nice out, you don't go to the TV. You don't turn on the electric fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
You don't shut all the doors. You go right to the backyard and you fire up the barbecue and you crack a beer. Not saying you're partying every night, but you're embracing 4 or 5 hours left in the day of daylight.
And that's what I told my wife when we were at the house in Arizona last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. I told my wife, because we're building a lot of furniture and we still have to get our outdoor stuff. I said, I can't wait till we're settled. We have our outdoor stuff built and we could just come outside and hang out after work, because she's working on New York time. She'll be done at 2 p.m. Arizona time.
Oh, okay. But she'll be up early.
She'll be up early, but she'll be done at 2 p.m. Arizona time. So that means the rest of the afternoon and evening is hers free. She
Yeah.
can go outside. Now, I'm working from home regardless. I can work on my phone. I don't need to be attached to my computer, so I can go hang out in the backyard. I could bring my computer out in the backyard, hang out, and work from there. It's great. I can't wait for that. I hate being in New York and having to, during the winter months, especially when I worked in Manhattan. Like you said at one point, you wake up, it's dark. You leave work, it's dark. The daytime hours, you're in an office. And it just sucks. It's depressing and it's cold and it's nasty. And, it's just awful. I like the sun. I like the warmth. I like being outside in the backyard. I can't wait for that.
No, I again, like, my wife loves it too, but she can't get it. I'm like, I'll come back here in the summer. I really, it's not like I dislike here like you dislike New York. It's although it's getting busier than it used to be, but I can find a place out in the county and be here in the summer and be happy. It's beautiful in the summer. I'm done with winter.
I'm
like, even if it gets dark in Florida or Arizona or wherever at 9 o'clock or 5 o'clock at night, it's still 75 freaking degrees.
It's nice and warm. I was just talking to my neighbor right next door to me that we share the driveway with, and we hang out. We talk all the time. I told him this a couple of days ago that we were moving, and we were talking, and I told him, I said, I can't wait till it's Christmas Day and it's 65 degrees outside and I'm sitting in my backyard.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
No. Christmas is Christmas. I'll put on a song. I'll buy a white rug.
Right. We'll decorate the house. Right. We'll decorate the house and it'll be wonderful, but it's going to be 65 degrees and I'm going to sit outside in my yard and enjoy not seeing snow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. Like, I don't know is it age? Mind you, there's like surfer dudes who would never move north.
No, of course, no, because you can't surf.
And I know now hockey works in southern areas, right? California, Florida. Like you said, Arizona will be back.
Vegas won the Stanley Cup.
I don't know the weather in Utah, but and the tickets are $35, not $2,500.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole other thing. Being in New York City, where prices are ridiculously high. But yeah, it's a whole different way of life. And to go back to the original point, when you're deciding, when you live in another country, like if I was to move to another country, me personally living in New York, what country would I move to? I would probably look for Australia.
Oh yeah, lots of poisonous spiders and
I mean,
snakes.
yeah, you have to, lots of poisonous animals and all that, but the weather is lovely.
Yeah, New Zealand. They're
New
very
Zealand,
nice
another
people.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Spain, like Choo Choo Stew, when he goes away, his Florida is Spain.
Right.
You've seen the pictures, beautiful beaches, warm weather, pretty close to the equator, I think.
Mhm.
And
But as much as I want to visit Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark.
yes,
I would never consider moving there because of their harsh winters.
yeah, I just
Never in my life would I ever consider moving there. Greenland for sure not. England probably not because they don't believe in air conditioning for some reason.
and it rains.
And it rains a lot. So if I'm looking
Just
for a
like
place
Seattle.
if I'm looking for a place to live and I'm going to go to another country like people in other countries come to America and Canada, I would look for a warm place to move.
Well, the thing about, and again, like America, if you wanted, if you could afford it, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Florida,
Mhm.
Arizona.
Mhm.
If you like winter, Wisconsin.
Right.
You know, you're like, you have it all, and the States is in the middle there. I'm probably in the best place in Canada, other than maybe Vancouver, as far as weather goes.
Mm.
Like it does get cold, and I bitch a lot, but it's nothing like the fucking shit that goes on down the lane. But, yeah. Now I know when people are coming from like Syria and Ukraine, yeah, no matter how cold it gets, you're in a better place here.
Right.
I get it.
Right. But wouldn't you
I
want
win a lottery?
But wouldn't you want to go away from what you've experienced? Like, just obviously it'll be more temperate. It's not going to be as cold, but you're still going to get snow and all that stuff. Wouldn't you want to be away from the snow?
Oh, me 100%. But now think of it. We're doing the show. There are missiles dropping around the house, and people are screaming in pain and yelling. I think I'd take the snow over that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, then, Montana and North Dakota sound wonderful.
Yes,
compared to what they're living.
Medicare, and hell, they just pay me to live here. I get these
Right.
stamps that I can use at the.
Right. But it, having a choice. But I look at it too. I was thinking about this the other day. When you have a choice, just specifically thinking of the United States, if you have a choice, why would you move to Ohio?
Yeah.
Why would you move to Mississippi? There's literally nothing there.
Yeah.
Like, as far as
And
industry,
see, you're
and all that.
fortunate. You're fortunate, and I think the world is. You're like the beginning of it, but the world is becoming a work from home. You can do it electronically.
Mhm.
I manage people, so I still have to be like hands-on and on site and yada yada. So I'm retirement or a lottery away from living my dream out.
Mhm.
But yeah, like you work from home, you can do it anywhere. Cost of living, from what I hear down in Arizona, is not too bad.
No, cost of living is really good, actually. It's I forget. I think it in the top 5 most affordable places to live, with industry. Like you could move to, and I'm not picking on Mississippi and Alabama, but they are poorer states. You could live there, and the cost of living is really low, but you're not making any money.
Yeah.
Arizona is one of those states where the cost of living is low, but you can make a living there.
Yeah.
Now, me bringing New York salary and my wife bringing New York salary and living in Arizona, that just helps us because we're making high dollar high dollar, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Salaries we're not, believe me, we're not making a whole lot of money. But living in Arizona, we could live a little easier
Yeah.
than we can in New York.
And then the question becomes, why'd you wait so long?
Well, there was a lot of things that went into this. First and foremost was the kids, because we talked about this. We were going to go to Kentucky. You knew that.
Yes.
We were
Which I
talking
think
about
is still fairly, you wouldn't get much winter there.
Kentucky's great. Kentucky's extremely humid.
Yeah.
But Kentucky is great. We went there. We looked at Lexington. We were in Lexington. It was a wonderful, wonderful city. We loved it there. My older son was about to start high school at the time. So the idea was he could start high school in Kentucky and go on to college from there. Circumstances didn't lend it to that. Basically, her job, my wife's job, didn't allow that to happen. So we had to wait. So we said, all right, we're not going to move our older son out of one high school into another. Let him finish high school. When we went to Arizona, and after Kentucky was off the table, we kind of didn't know what we were going to do. We went to Arizona on vacation, hung out with Mike, and Arizona. If you've never been there, Arizona, I've been all over the country in the United States. I've been to, 3/4 of the states in the United States. Arizona hits differently. It's much different. And it had an effect on both me and my wife. So we looked at it. My older son was a sophomore in high school. We said, all right, if we agree this is what we want to do, let's have a 2-year plan. So when he leaves high school, he can start college out there and we can move out there. My younger son will only be going into the 4th grade. So he's not very attached to his friends, kind of.
Yeah.
He can go out there and make new friends, and it would almost be seamless. So that was the plan. Obviously, money came into effect too. We needed the capital to be able to do this, to move across country. To move to Kentucky, it's only 11 hours away driving from New York. To move to Arizona, it's completely across the country. So that's a completely different thing. So we need capital to do that. So we had to build up our capital. And that's in essence why it took so long. We had to build up our capital. We wanted to be fair to our older son, let him go to high school in one school, not transfer out and have to make new friends. And then we had to discuss with our workplaces the move. Would we be allowed to do that? My job was originally said no, and then a week later they said yes, because I forced them to tell me why they said no. They never told me why they said no. They just turned around and said yes.
Yeah, what does it matter? You're on the internet.
Right. And there's going to be expansion in the Southwest. So me being there as the IT engineer helps that cause. And I think they realize that. My wife's job is solely in Manhattan. It's not anywhere else. It's solely in one spot in Manhattan, but they do have brokers because she works for a securities firm. They do have brokers that work in Florida and, outside. So she used that in saying, look, if they can do it, I can do it. And they agreed.
She went to the office every day.
She still goes to the office every day.
Yeah.
The only time she will not be going to the office is when we move to Arizona. This time they agreed. They said, you're right. You do all this stuff regardless when you're on vacation, when you're out of the office, you still work. We see the value. We need you. Okay. And they bought all this office stuff for her. So the reason why it took so long is because everything had to line up.
Yeah. The stars needed to align.
And for whatever reason, every step of the process in moving to Arizona, and like the interest rates are sky high. The mortgage interest rates are sky high. There was one day where our mortgage lender contacted me and said, "Look, I can get you at a extremely low rate, but you have to act today." And we knew the house that we bought is the house that we eyed.
Yeah.
She said, "You have to act today. I can lock it in. If you agree to do it today, I can lock it in at this low rate. Otherwise, tomorrow, I can't guarantee." Talked to my wife. We said yes. The next day, the rates skyrocketed. So we were locked in at a low rate. To move my younger son, into this charter school that actually Mike's younger child goes to. For any other grade, there's a waiting list. It's a charter school. For any other grade, there's a waiting list. For the grade he's going in, no waiting list. They said, "Yeah, he's got a seat. Just show us proof of your address once you close and you get your mortgage statement." Our jobs agreed. So everything parted ways. Like the
Your
Red
son
Sea
got
parted.
accepted to university.
Right.
And
Our son got accepted to Grand Canyon University out there. Everything, like as I say, the Red Seas parted every step of the way. Every single thing fell into place for us to get this. And to me, I don't believe in this, spiritual side and all this, but it was almost like it was meant to be. And that's why it took so long. Everything had to fall in place, and this time it did. That's why we're moving out when we are.
yeah. And still young enough to enjoy and have a good place for. So is your oldest son, is Peter living with you or on campus?
He is on campus.
Yeah.
But of course he says, "Well, I'm going to come home on the weekends." And all. We know, like, he'll come home the first couple of weekends, but then once he makes friends out there,
Yeah.
and they want to go somewhere on the weekend, he's not going to come home. So good for him.
But you're still close for
We're
holidays.
30 minutes away.
Yeah.
So it's very close. But good for him. He's going out on his own. He's going to live at the dorms. He's got his dorm roommates all lined up. Good for him. He's going to be home every so often, and we'll leave it at that.
Now, what about the pets? We haven't talked about the pets.
I have 3 dogs and 3 cats.
Leave the cats.
No, I love cats.
Oh.
I would leave the dogs long before I left the cats. But my wife wants to bring everybody. So my wife's plan is that we rent an RV.
Oh,
and
the story's getting better, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I ask the questions that need to be asked. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
My wife's plan. Now, keep in mind, she doesn't drive. Neither does my older son. I'm the only one who drives. My wife's plan is to rent an RV from New York and do the Chevy Chase vacation across country and go to Arizona with all the pets and all the family in an RV for a week or however long it takes us to get there. That is her plan.
Great fun, great adventures.
It is not, because I'm the only one who's driving, and Arizona is approximately 2,500 miles away.
How many hours would that be? 2 days if you drove straight?
I mapped it out. It's 37 hours.
So you're going to stop, maybe drive 6 hours a day with breaks and stop, get a cool place, maybe stay a day.
Well, no, we wouldn't get a place because we have an RV.
Get a camping spot.
Right. A spot to park. Yes.
hit a Cracker Barrel, and
So to put this,
that would be great fun.
So to put this in perspective, when I was playing in the band, we took a Greyhound bus from New York to California to Los Angeles. It took us 3 days to get from New York to Los Angeles on a bus, where the only stops were to change buses. There were no overnight stops, and you're sleeping and all this. You are going from one bus to another, from New York to Los Angeles. It took 3 days.
Yeah.
She wants to do the RV and do the vacation thing where you see the largest ball of twine and do sightseeing. It's going to take a week plus.
Yeah. But you got your pets when you get there.
Yes, they would. That was the idea, because they would be with us.
And it's going to be a new place, so they'll probably pee on the floor.
As soon as they get there, now all my pets are rescues. Well, the dogs. All our dogs are rescues. They're not, breeder adoptions and all this. They're rescues. They were abandoned by the family, and we took them. One of them has anxiety. So as soon as she gets into the new house, she's going to shit everywhere.
You need CBD.
Oh my, we have puppy CBD. We have that. I'm going to need to administer it a lot. But this is the plan. And we found out
is your yard fenced? Oh, that we didn't do this yet. So, see, it's a good thing we didn't get to anything else. Now, Mrs. B sent me about 400 pictures. But here, ladies and gentlemen, Big B's going to have a palm tree. Beautiful yard.
So there are two of those. One that is the backyard with my younger son, and there's one of those in the front of the house as well. So I have two palm trees.
Right. That would be a house plant in Canada.
Right. That is a palm tree. That is called a pineapple palm tree.
All right. So it looks like a pineapple. Okay. And then we got, I didn't want that. Sorry. No hide. And then I just picked a couple of pictures of the house. Like, what a beautiful house.
Yeah, that is my backyard and the back of the house. It is really a big backyard. It's great.
And you could build you could get like a gazebo.
Yeah, we're talking about like right now, just like a little, not a gazebo, but just an overhang kind of thing.
Yeah.
Over to when you're looking at this picture to the right side, where our table is going to go with chairs, something over there to cover the table and chairs.
Yeah, to give you some shade, because you probably appreciate shade.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I have, hang on, I did take one more, which I think is the front. Let me find it here, folks. Oh, back here. Hang on. And there's, again, very nice.
So you see my
garage.
We have a 3-car garage. Yeah. And you see my younger son there. That is the pineapple palm tree in the front of the house. So we have 2 palm trees, one in the front, one in the back. My younger son named him Little Fatty and Big Fatty.
Oh, nice.
Little Fatty is in the backyard. Big Fatty is in the front yard. So that is the front of the house.
Very pastel, very nice looking outside.
Oh, it's great. Here's the weird thing, and I don't think I brought this up. In your house, let me ask you this: in your house, where is the mail delivered?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Not packages, just like letter, like envelopes.
Where is that? Your mail is delivered where I live, right at the house. But we do have places where you got to drive to the corner, and you've got a mailbox. Yes, I know exactly where you're going. Yeah.
So that is what happens in Arizona. No mail is delivered to the house. You have a box that is in a cluster of boxes at a certain part in the area. Now mine, luckily where I live, it's like literally, 50 feet away. Like I just walk down the block a little bit and there it is. But it's the weirdest thing because here we don't like we have like a mail slot. It's in
Yeah.
the door. The mailman puts the mail in the mail slot. I've never heard of this where you had to walk down the block for mail.
No, and we have it here in the newer, like at my plant here in Windsor, the one I work in Windsor, and the one I work in Chatham now, where you go and you have a key.
Yes.
Mailbox 8, you get your mail, and no, that's the new way of
that is so crazy to me. We're mailbox number 47.
Yeah.
And I remember asking our real estate agent as we were in the process of buying this house. I don't know why it popped into my mind, but it just did. I messaged her. I said, I noticed there's no mail slot in the door and there's no mailbox, like physical mailbox at the curb. Where does the mail get delivered? She turned around and said, oh, there's always a cluster of mailboxes, like, down the block or at the corner. That's how things work in Arizona.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon.
Being in New York, that is a completely foreign thing.
Yeah, and I get mail to my house still, but like I said, the new builds, like if you go into an area where they're building new houses, they've always got those big square, and you go to pick up your mail at the. But I mean, who actually gets mail anymore?
Well,
it's not very much. It's all email.
Can I tell you, when we got to the house, this house has been vacant for a long period of time. Like it was on the market for 6 months plus. It's been vacant for a long period of time. I went to the mailbox once I got the keys and we were in the house. I took the keys to the mailbox. I went to the mailbox. It was stuffed.
Junk, probably, right?
6 months plus of mail, all junk mail. And the pile that I took was literally like this, stuffed into the mailbox. Like the mailman must have like crushed things in.
Yeah.
He was trying any way, shape, or form he could to get things into this mailbox. All junk. But I mean, it was months and months and months of mail that
I wonder
nobody
why
checked.
it took so long to sell.
So what I was told, it was on the market. And I remember when we first started looking, that was one of the first houses my wife bookmarked. And then suddenly it went off the market. So they had a buyer. The buyer's contingency was that they had to sell their house in order to purchase that house. Their sale never happened. So the house went back on the market. And I guess for the area, it was priced high. We got the appraisal that it was priced just a fraction lower than the appraisal price. So we were in good shape. Other than that, I don't know why it stuck on the market that long, but we were lucky to, that was one of my wife's first picks and we ultimately got it. So that was another thing. Like I just said, the seas parted, kind of, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
She wanted that. It went off the market. It suddenly came back on the market and we got it. So I don't care any other reasons why it was on the market for so long. We got it. We went through inspection. Everything worked. Everything checked out. Everything that we needed to fix, they fixed, and we got it.
It's haunted.
We went through it, and there was no pentagrams anywhere. We stayed in the house the entire week we were there. No magic voice told us to get out. There were no flies accumulating in one room. So we were good. When I went down in February for the home inspection. I felt at home in the house. My wife went down there. My wife first saw the house in person after we'd bought the house when we went there a couple of weeks ago. She immediately felt at home there. Our real estate agent said that, I feel a really good vibe in this house. Every single one of us thought it was a great house.
Yeah. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of an odd show tonight, but hopefully you enjoyed yourself. We took you on a little bit of a trip to the future, a little bit of a time warp, a little bit of Hollywood, a little bit of Hallmark, and we got to the bottom of the biggest epicenter of all time. Now, here's the problem. I have two things written down.
So do I.
I got 72 virgins.
Okay.
And whores were plentiful. Both of which I would consider show notes. Thank God Short Size stopped by, because I think that's what you're going to call it. But anyway, what are your two?
My two is, I don't even remember what we were talking about, but the first one is, there is an upstairs.
Well, that's the saloons.
Oh, the saloons. That's right. Yes. There is an upstairs in every saloon. But again,
and I challenge anyone to show me a picture of a saloon in a movie or historically that does not have the upstairs with the banister and the cowboy walking up with the girl in the long dress with her corset on.
Correct.
Guaranteed there's an upstairs. So if you don't believe in heaven, Big B, that may have been their heaven.
That's right.
They're upstairs.
It could be the upstairs. But I think we're all agreed on this being the show name from Short Side, Swinging Doors and Crotch Rot.
Swinging Doors and Crotch Rot. I like it. Short Size saves the day.
That's right.
I think he's left us because it's probably 3 a.m. over there. But yeah, we got a couple show notes. We'll throw them in, and maybe something will come to me in my sleep that we've. But I think a fun show, ladies and gentlemen. Just hanging out, talking about stuff. I don't think we hinge too much on any one topic.
No, I think we had some fun.
Yeah,
we have all the news. Now we won't be live next week.
Right.
Because DK is going on his health and safety adventure.
Which will probably be my epicenter.
There you go. But the following week, we have all the news stories and all the Florida stories from this week that we have to get to.
And guaranteed, Mike reads the news and Twitter shits.
There you go.
I always have to email Mike, and then he'll do his little show and plug us and all that. But
I've told him how much you love Twitter shits.
Yes.
And you are very excited when he supplies it.
It's fun. I also now like that we've discovered, what's the bail? Like, I just like things that.
And let me tell you, in the stories we have for not next week, but the following week, we will play What's the Bail?
I got to get a, what do you call, stinger for that.
Stinger, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a great time. I think Big B has as well.
Absolutely.
As exhausted as I was when I sit in this chair, I'm beginning to think that, get a younger generation here. I know we talk about a lot of foul stuff in that, but really, we can really teach you history.
Yes.
Today was really a history lesson for anyone that's curious. And we're still sane enough to intelligently discuss it with you. We're not in our rocking chairs yet. So any of you adults listening on podcasts, join the Facebook group, but come and listen. We talk about weird shit, but there's a lot of times we give you a little, it's not news, it's just tidbits, little pieces of shit.
Little pieces of shit.
Yeah. All right. I got to go eat dinner and sleep.
All right.
I'll report to you from Sault Ste. Marie.
I can't wait.
I bet you can. All right. Where's my picture here? Here we go. We're out of here, folks. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Later.
Be good to each other.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go. Just go. Get out. Get the hell out.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.